Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the Objectively Bad podcast. Once again, my name is Dan, and I'm here with my graciously lovely co-host, Chad the Man.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi, Dan. I'm doing good. How are you?
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's.
Huh?
I don't know. You confuse me every day.
Thank you. We're out of practice.
Mhm.
If you haven't seen,
Yeah, a little bit.
we've also gone another week without uploading. I forgot to put out a post, but if you're listening, now's the time to explain. For the rest of the year, foreseeable future, next few months, we're going to be going back to a fortnightly schedule, just because things are picking up for me in terms of being busy with YouTube leading up to the Christmas period. So I just thought, good time to like slow down the podcast a little bit. Still get your episodes, but, you know, instead of every week, once every 2 weeks. And hopefully we'll have more stuff to talk about, because I do think a few of the more recent episodes of the past months, we've just sat down and been like, I don't know what the fuck to say.
Hi. Yeah. Yeah. We've been on a little slump. I mean, we're still putting it out there, but yeah, I think kind of for the rest of the year, which isn't too much longer anyways, we'll be every other week. And we'll go back to every week. It's just, I know for Dan, like the holiday season starts to ramp up. Holiday season starts to ramp up for me a little bit too. So
Yeah, in terms of the amount of work I got to put in for YouTube. Also going back to see my parents over Christmas and New Year's, so got to prepare videos for that.
yeah, holidays come up. Thanksgiving if you're in the States.
Yep, true. Black Friday.
I'm sure
if
there's
you're
some
anywhere,
Black
I guess.
Friday if you're literally anywhere. I don't know how much. I mean, that's really just buying things.
Yeah, you get sales everywhere.
You
gotta be vigilant, though.
Not good anymore. That's true. You do have to be vigilant.
I do think that I remember like when you were a kid, you got told about Black Friday. I don't know if it was like this in the US, but outside the US, you were told about Black Friday like there was some sort of fucking purge happening. Like every time I heard about it, it feels like the world's like burning down. Everyone's trying to grab the last like little deal, little thing they can.
When I was a kid, it was like, because online shopping wasn't, maybe even not even a thing. I guess at some point when I was a child, but not that popular. So if there were deals, they were in the store and people would line up hours before the store opens to rush into the store and try and find that deal. People would be fighting each other. People would be punching grandmas and kicking little kids over for like a TV that's like 60% off.
Yeah, and I know it didn't happen that frequently, but like I have seen news stories over the years of like people getting trampled to death during Black Friday sales. That's insane. Well, just for a slight discount, it is a big discount, but just for a discount,
it used to be pretty
microwave.
Good discounts. I think the discounts have gotten a lot lower. I also think all of the in-shop Black Friday stuff is way less.
Yeah,
there's a lot more online discounts.
Yeah, I will say.
And because of that, even if there's like in-person discounts, so many people are like, well, I'll just buy it online.
Exactly. People can't be bothered to make the trip anymore. I will say one of the best places you can typically get discounts for Black Friday is like Steam and games.
True.
Speaking of games, a new Pokemon game has come out recently.
Yes, it has.
He's wearing a Squirtle thing. That's cute.
I love the sweatshirt.
I love how we're wearing like opposite colors today. I'm red, you're blue.
Yeah, I'm Pokemon Blue, you're Pokemon Red.
Yes, this is definitely Pokemon.
Well, I'm talking about the game. But
I know. Yes. This is a collaboration piece with the anime Dandadan and a brand that a YouTuber owns.
We're gonna come back to Pokemon, but I have to complain about this. I have a coworker that refuses to say Dan. He says Dan. He puts the third Dan in there, and I'm like, it was weeks because he would talk to another coworker about it, and I'm just sitting here, and I go up to him one day, and I'm like, do you know that there's no N in the middle, like duh part? He goes, yeah, it's Dan. I'm like, no. Dan.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but they meant 3 Dans. And I was like, no, I know he's fucking with me.
Yeah. I actually don't know. I think it's technically Dandadan, but I don't know what it actually means.
Sure.
I don't know what, like, I don't know.
Well, it's also translated from Japanese, so.
Yeah, but I don't even know what that means in Japanese, like what it means in Japanese.
Sure.
Because like in the opening theme of Dun Dun Dun, like the song that was made for it, you can just hear in the background like the guy going dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Apparently it just means like little by little or more and more.
Oh, okay. That's
Don't know how that relates to the show really, but sure.
Yeah, but he keeps pronouncing that. So I've decided every time he does that, I'm gonna say Hunter X Hunter.
I've
to get at him.
I've had quite a few people unironically say that. I get it. If you don't know, yeah, you don't know.
But you don't know, like you're reading really it funny. Correctly.
Yeah.
Like that's how it's like spelled, but it
is.
Anyways, Pokemon.
Funny. Yes, Pokemon. So Legends ZA came out recently, and it has taken the internet by storm for how much of a fucking disgrace it kind of is. I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, I've heard nothing but bad things. I've heard the tutorial's like 3 hours long and incredibly boring. You know, I've kind of heard like over the years, I think Pokemon just gets a little more and more handholdy. I mean, at its core, Pokemon is a kid's game.
Yeah, but like,
the problem is it's a kid's game that is old enough that adults played it when it was a kid's game, and then they became adults, so they really love Pokemon.
Yeah, but even though it's a kid's game, the original, I'd say the original like 4 or 5 generations almost, they were like difficult if you like.
They had difficult parts,
they had like difficulty to them, and they didn't really hold your hand like to a massive degree. I think like we've talked about this on the pod before, I'm sure, but like games in general have gotten a lot more kid friendly and or like
they've been like easier.
I don't even know like the word for it, tutorialized or whatever. Like there's so much like stuff in games now that are like show you how to do every little thing. Don't leave anything to imagination or discovery. They just like literally hold your hand the entire way through. Whereas in like the original Pokemon games, you have like a 3-minute tutorial where you get your Pokemon, and after that you have like a tutorial where they show you how to catch a Pokemon. And after that, you're kind of just on your fucking own.
Kind of done. I've been playing Black and White, and I restarted, and that tutorial's pretty quick. You get your Pokemon almost immediately. You get your Pokemon, you fight with 2 people, you go to the professor, and then that's kind of it. And you're good. I mean, you run into people and they explain some concepts, but it's not much. I think to some degree there are more tutorials because of like, oftentimes there's more mechanics. Like I know in the newer Pokemon games, there are more mechanics than there are in the older ones. There's also like really old games were mostly arcade games. So you don't really give a tutorial because you might be playing it for a couple minutes. You kind of just figure it out.
Yeah.
Sure. You know, there's more buttons. Like I've been playing on a Game Boy, and the Game Boy is literally D-pad A and B.
Yep.
So there's more buttons to hit. There's more stuff to do. But they also, I think people are trying to reach a wider audience. And if you start a game and you're like, I don't know how to do this, and you just quit, it's not really helpful.
Yeah.
Whereas
I also think, well, there are 2 things I think. There are many things I think, but 2 things about this.
That's good.
When it comes to an open world game, which is what Legends ZA is, I can understand a bit more of hand-holdiness so a player just doesn't get lost initially. Because like in the old Pokemon games, there's only really like 1 or 2 ways you can really go at any given point. You go out of the starting town, you go to the left or to the right, one goes to a random forest you can't get out of, one goes to a city, whatever. It's easy. With an open world Pokemon game, you can kind of go anywhere. If there's not a tutorial telling you exactly where to go, it may take you hours to find where you're meant to be going. So I can understand that. The second thing, when it comes to like what you said of someone may pick up a game, if they don't get a tutorial, they'll say like, I don't know what to do and give up. I do think people in general in like the past 5-10 years have just gotten way more impatient with everything. I don't know whether it's due to short form content or what, but like back in the day, when I was a kid, 5 years old, playing like Pokemon Diamond for the first time, like you can give me that for hours and I will spend hours trying to figure out how it works and where to go and what to do. Whereas like, yeah, even now, like if I can't really get the hang of a game after a while, unless I'm really into it, I may give up. And a lot of people do give up very easily now with a lot of stuff. Like the amount of people I know that like tried to get into Baldur's Gate 3, I think you included, and then just like sort of stopped after a little bit. Like even I did. Like I played for.
I keep telling myself I'm gonna come back.
Yep,
I will someday.
I did play it initially, and I stopped because like turn-based combat, like top down. What the fuck is this? Took me a while to get used to it, but then once you do get used to it, it's really rewarding. It's really cool. Whereas like some games, it sort of just almost play themselves for you a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. You also have to some degree, it depends on the game. Obviously Pokemon doesn't apply to this, but like you have like Xbox Game Pass and you have, I think PlayStation has their own version where it's like you can just play whatever games that they have.
Yep.
You know, if I go out and buy a game and I spend $50 on a game back in the day, I'm like, well, I just spent this money. I want to play this game. But if you're on Game Pass, you're like, well, I'm spending $30 a month, or however much Game Pass is. I don't know. I think it's 30. You start a game, and if you're not feeling it, you stop and you just play another game, and there's kind of no money lost there.
Yep.
I don't know how big of a factor that is, and obviously, like again, that doesn't apply to Nintendo because they don't have it. But some games it could apply to because like you move on. It's like, well, I didn't pay directly for this game. I'm just paying to play a library of games. I'll just move on.
Yeah, or like instead of moving on to another game, the other big thing that is different to, I guess, how games were in the 2000s. These did exist, but it's way more popular now. Is you have games like a Fortnite or a Roblox where like you can just play that forever and pretty much never get sick of it because like not only are like battle royale and like shooter games sort of very replayable by nature, but Roblox and Fortnite both have their own like creative studios where people make games in the game. Same with Minecraft as well. So you kind of just don't even, if you're like really into that, you sort of just don't need to ever play anything else because you can play, I don't know how advanced they are, but I'm pretty sure there are like versions of like a Pokemon in Roblox and Fortnite. There's like there's like regular shooter games, there's horror games in them. You kind of just don't need to do anything else. And like the benefit to that is that if you already played Fortnite or already played Roblox, you understand how the controls work, you understand the mechanics, you understand like all that is already drilled into you. When you play a new game, like if you go from being a Roblox player to being a Baldur's Gate 3 player, the amount of stuff you need to learn to even figure out how to play the game in the first place, like how do you move? You have to click with your right mouse button to move. That's different to other games. It's not WASD. What the fuck? It's like the same big issue that a lot of like MMO players have when switching from like a WoW World of Warcraft to a RuneScape. It's like RuneScape, you have to click with your mouse button to move everywhere. That's not normal in a lot of games. So yeah, a lot of people just will stick with what they're familiar with and not really put in the time to invest learning something new because like, I don't know, it's sort of the idea of like, would you rather just stick with what you know or invest time in something that could be better, but also could be worse? The expected value is probably lower than just sticking with whatever you're used to.
Sure. I mean, you even within Pokemon games, like I feel like the early, I mean, probably up until the Switch, because I think that's when they started doing open world games.
Yep.
The formula is the same. I went from playing Crystal to Black and White, and there are some differences, I guess, but it's still top-down 2D, you know, up, down, left, right. You go into the grass, you fight a Pokemon, you catch a Pokemon, you level them up, they have moves. You can teach them move. Like it's all pretty much the same. Whereas like if I go from playing Black and White, which is Gen 5, to playing Legends ZA, which I think is Gen 9, with an open world 3D concept, like I kind of do need a little bit of a tutorial.
Yeah.
Like it's completely different.
Yeah, like catching
being said,
doesn't work the same. You don't walk into tall grass and catch a Pokemon. You walk up to random wild Pokemon that are roaming around and literally throw a ball at them.
Yeah. That being said, does the tutorial need to be 3 hours long?
Yeah, I haven't heard much about the tutorial, but that does sound kind of insane. The things I've seen the most about are the graphics, which we've talked about the Switch before. The Switch 1, not known for having great graphic quality, and we were talking about the Switch 2 in our Switch 2 like podcast episode. We thought that, oh my god, this is finally the console that's gonna like make the Switch make its mark, because like it's supposed to be as powerful as PS4 now. It's running Cyberpunk. It's running The Witcher. Like it's going to be higher quality, right? No.
Well, this is also an issue that Pokemon has been having
Yeah.
for the past multiple games. Because, like, I think Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet have suffered partially from poor, like, performance.
And graphics.
And it's just that, and graphics in that either the graphics are too much and it can't perform or the graphics look terrible. And it's like, if it doesn't work and it, like, not even if it doesn't look good, if it doesn't work, stop doing it.
Yeah.
You can't even give the excuse of like when Cyberpunk came out and they were like, well, if you have a really nice PC, you can run this, but if you're playing on PlayStation, you can't. This is just going on one console.
Yeah, like optimize
this should be
it.
easy to see if it works or not.
And like, so I don't know the ins and outs of the game to like a stupid detail degree, but like the Switch 2, it's running Cyberpunk, it's running Elden Ring, it's running these big games, right? There is no chance in hell that a Pokemon game with this low of like graphic fidelity should have any issues running like whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it's very clear to me that the team that's making it at Nintendo, Game Freak, whatever, is just really bad at optimizing their game. They're just terrible at it. Like there's just no other explanation.
Switch 2 problem. It's not a Switch 2 problem. It's a Game Freak problem. They need to like figure out what it is.
Yeah.
And also, the thing is like, look, you got to do new things. I understand. Game Freak, if it doesn't work, just go back to the 2D concept.
Yep.
The people love the 2D concept.
Yeah, but like speaking about the optimization, they cut like, have you seen the actual like graphics of like the city?
No.
So in the main city, I don't know what it's called, but the game takes place in like a big city. It's kind of like Paris or whatever the fuck. And most of you can't enter like any buildings in the game. Apart from a few buildings you go into for like a battle or a story mission, you can't enter any building. Even the Pokemon shops and Pokemon centers where you usually go in to heal your Pokemon, you don't go into the building. You go up to the door, press A, and a menu comes up to say, oh, I want to buy this item or I want to heal my Pokemon. You don't enter the fucking Poke Center to heal. So that very like, from the first game of Pokemon ever where you go into that red building to heal your Pokemon, you don't do that in this.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I don't.
And if you look at a lot of the buildings, the windows. So there's very specifically, if you know what Paris looks like, there are like these white buildings that have like windows, and they typically have like little like black fences that go like around the window, to like kind of like a mini balcony, but not like large. It's a very like common style. And in this Pokemon game, those textures are not like. They're flat is basically the best way I can say it. The window and like the black fence that goes like, or like, are supposed to go in front of it are one texture. There's no depth in it. There's no shadows. There's no like physical thing there. It's just a flat painted texture that's put on a wall. No depth whatsoever, which is insane. The more insane thing is that the entire city, the entire like giant city that the game takes place in is one 3D model. One.
Yeah.
The whole city is a single texture. Like the buildings, the floor, the trees, everything is one like how the fuck do you do that? I did a bit of 3D design in university. That's like a cardinal sin, bro. Because not only do you get like lower resolution, like you get like lower quality and lower resolution when you do that. Also, it makes the game run slower because you know what happens when you have the whole map as one texture? You have to load in the whole map all the time.
Yeah, like, you gotta load in like Pokemon that you're never gonna see until you get up to it.
I don't know about the Pokemon themselves, but like all the buildings and like stuff, you have to load in. Like a very common feature that game developers found out like decades ago to reduce like a memory size on games is that when it's like the Minecraft chunk thing. You choose how many chunks you want to load in at once. If you're in one area of the game, you don't need the thing on the other side to be loaded in because you're not seeing it.
Not at all.
As long as whatever you see is loaded in and what you don't see is loaded out, the amount of memory and RAM the game takes goes down dramatically. If you've ever played Minecraft and put your render distance to max versus like 1, there's such a big performance difference. And I think that's why this game is like struggling, because why are they fucking doing that? It's so dumb. Especially
on a Switch. Like it's not even on, Like, doesn't the Switch have the power of like a PS4?
That's what I think it's supposed to say,
Ish.
yeah. And the PS4 has run
which is like
good quality
not
games.
bad.
Spider-Man PS4 is a fucking really good looking
it
game.
looks great.
Like,
But
what's Game Freak doing?
It's a good example. Spider-Man has, the entirety of New York City, or it has Manhattan, not the entirety of New York City, but it has a large chunk of a city. They are not rendering the entire city. I think I saw somewhere it's that they're cut up into districts. So when you're in one district, it loads that, and maybe it's loading like adjacent districts or something like that.
I'm not sure the way I imagine Spider-Man to work, because like when you go to the top of the tallest building, you can see everything, but typically
you can see everything.
The way it works, it's like it's not the ones further away from you aren't like detailed.
Yes, they're a lot less detailed. They also there's no like action or NPCs or any like moving thing. It's just
the buildings
essentially.
It's the same with like
just a building.
there's a mod you can get for Minecraft. I can't remember what it's called, but it basically you can extend the render distance to like I think the max render distance in base Minecraft is like 32 chunks. This one you can go up to like 256 or something. But everything past 32, it's not like an accurate render. It basically like I can't remember the word for it, but it scales down. So like in the game, say that if you're in Spider-Man and you're standing next to the Empire State Building, the Empire State Building is rendered fully. Like you can see each individual like centimeter of like work put into it. Whereas if something's 100 meters away, that 1 centimeter gets changed to 10 centimeters. Everything becomes less clear, but it's still there. You can still see the outline of the buildings. You can still see the shape of the city.
You see what you need to see from super far away.
Exactly. Like when you look far away in real life, you're not seeing every detail. It's the same in games to make it optimized. But when the whole city is one texture, you can't do that. You just can't.
That's bad. I've also heard the city's kind of a maze. Like it's almost Pokemon is the older games are incredibly linear.
Yep.
This is almost incredibly non-linear. And that it's like, but the problem is they're very linear games. You go to gym 1, you go to gym 2.
Yeah,
like there's a kind of a flow to the game.
Yeah, that's why I gave up on Scarlet and Violet so easily, because from the get-go, you can go to like 4 different like champion people that you can defeat. I'm like, that's not what I want in a Pokemon game. In a Pokemon game, I want to get my starter Pokemon. I want to beat the first gym leader. I want to beat the second gym leader. I want to face the evil team once. I want to fight my rival. When I play a Pokemon game, I want this fun linear journey of slowly leveling up, beating slightly stronger opponents, and then getting to the finale. I don't want to bumble around randomly and like choose which order to go in. If I want that, I go play just a Witcher or a Skyrim or something.
Yeah. No, they're not, and that's the thing is like they're not necessarily high quality enough games that the open world aspect is that good in my opinion. Obviously, like you could make a good open world Pokemon game, and it's not to say that all the games they've made that have been open world since are terrible, but it doesn't necessarily appeal to me. It doesn't help that obviously a lot of the reviews are poor.
Yeah, I mean, you say that you probably can make a good open world Pokemon game.
Sure,
we already have one.
That's true.
It's called Power World.
It is called Power World.
It exists. We've seen it. And Nintendo,
it's fun.
Like Game Freak or Nintendo, whoever it was sued them. And the funniest comment is like everyone after this came out, it's like they sued them for this shit. What?
Yeah.
Like Power World looks so much better. It runs so much better. All like the mechanics of like catching the pals and like what you can do with them.
The mechanics of catching are good.
Are also much better.
The grind of the game is what stopped me playing.
Yeah.
Like it gets repetitive in its grind of like you're building up your base and all of that. But like the combat was really fun. The catching was really fun. Running into things was really cool. And it's like Pokemon Game Freak, just take that.
Yeah, because Power World has real-time combat. You like throw your pal out and he actually runs and does moves and you can see it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure on Legends ZA, it's still the typical like Pokemon standing in 2 positions and they do an animation for an attack.
Which is like, I understand that's how Pokemon is. It is a little bit weird when it feels like a live action 3D game and then you're like, nah, this is still RPG style.
Yep.
And you can make it work, but it's just a little strange.
Yeah, I don't know. Power World's got a lot of updates recently. They've released a Pal Farm, which is like a Power World farming simulator game. which looks
That's cool.
quite like looks really cute. It just like because we played
It's
it,
fun.
we talked about it on the podcast. Like
Yeah.
the grindy aspect, yeah, it's for a certain type of player that wants to put in that time. But just like the early game
Yeah.
and up till you get to that point,
The early game is really cool.
it's so fun. And I know Pokemon doesn't need to have
Yeah.
like the survival building mechanic of it, but even just like the catching the pals and fighting with them is like light years ahead of what Pokemon's ever done
it's
in
it's
that
awesome.
sphere.
It's really well done. I like that. Like in the early game, you know you're mostly running into weak, low-level Pokemon, but then occasionally you would have like high-level, more passive Pokemon just
Pals.
roaming around, and you're like, pals. Sorry,
Don't get sued.
You can't sue us,
Don't get
Nintendo.
sued. Don't get sued.
We're not talking about you. We're talking about something completely different from you. There's random pals that are like massive and like level 50, and you're like, oh, I can't catch you, but wow, you are here. And this like that was really cool. I enjoyed that.
Yep.
Because obviously in Pokemon games, you don't like run into high level things in the beginning, which makes sense. Because it's also a lot of times they would just kill you and that would suck. Whereas these guys are like passive high level things, and you just have to not attack them really, but you could go around them.
Yeah. It kind of adds like
Just not fight them.
it
It
adds-
adds to the world.
yeah, like it makes sense that there'd be some like high level pals / Pokemon hiding out in different areas, whereas in Pokemon
Yeah.
games, yeah, you only see them like at the end of the game. Which obviously, I think when it comes to an open world game, I guess you could go to the like game areas. I don't really know how it works in Legends. Yeah, I didn't play it. I haven't played it. And I didn't play Legends Arceus enough either. Just because like, I mean, I thought Legends Arceus I wasn't as bad. I think the graphics and like optimization of that game were fine. It was mostly just that I just don't like the Switch controls. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
The original Switch is very small and my hands are big, so it was kind of difficult to play.
Yeah, which is funny because I feel like the DS and the Game Boy weren't necessarily any bigger.
The difference for me is that they have a D-pad controller. This has an analog stick. The analog stick is
That's
like
true.
much more difficult to like aim for me. On like a smaller
Yeah.
controller and a small screen also is the issue. Like
That's fair.
D-pad's fine for small like consoles and stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Fair enough,
it's
yeah.
not looking great. I don't know if I will get it.
I don't know if I will. I will also say, from my knowledge, I'm sure they do. Obviously, they didn't do this back in the day because, like, that's not how games work. But I don't know how much, like, patches they put out for Pokemon.
Me neither. I'm also looking at comparisons between the Switch and Switch 2 versions of ZA. I
didn't know you could play on the Switch.
genuinely cannot tell a single difference in the graphics at all.
Ooh, that's bad.
Like I cannot tell a single difference, which makes
I
makes-
wonder if the graphics are the same and the performance is better on the Switch too.
even if that's the case, the Switch 2 is meant to be way more powerful than the Switch 1. It should have better graphics, man.
Yeah,
I
agree.
can forgive the bad textures on the Switch 1 because it's a big open world game. On the Switch 2, they should
Sure.
have put in more effort.
It should be better. Well, and it's like you could look and go, oh, it's a Pokemon game, it's not about graphics, but it's like, I'm sorry, Game Freak is like Pokemon is massive. You're making so much money off this, you should be putting the effort in.
I would say it is about graphics as well because like
to a degree.
I
don't think that's the main thing when I play a Pokemon game, but like
this
it's
is my
important.
explanation. When we talk about graphics, I don't think that like 3D open world isn't like an objectively better graphic than a pixel art. It's more about
Sure.
how well you do the style. Their pixel art style of
Yeah.
Pokemon games is really well done. It's designed
It is
well,
really well done.
everything looks good. If Game
agree.
Freak want to do an open world 3D game, they need to have the same level of quality in that style that they have with their pixel art style, which they do not at all.
I agree with that 100%. I think it's like, if you're going to commit to this, commit and do it well. And you're a massive video game company that makes probably billions of dollars a year off of Pokemon. Cause it's like, one of the biggest, you have 3 Pokemon in the background.
4.
I don't know how much you can, the user, do you have 4?
Yeah, it's 4.
Is that red guy a Pokemon?
Yeah, that's Fuecoco. It's,
Oh,
not Cyndaquil. Is that the base name, Cyndaquil?
Yeah, that's
I think so. Squirtle and Shinx.
Yeah, Squirtle and
Yeah,
Shinx.
Fuecoco is a
Yeah.
starter from like Gen 7 or Gen 8.
Oh, okay. I haven't played that. I played Crystal recently.
He's a cute little guy. He's
Mhm.
a mix between a crocodile and a flaming hot chili.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah, I love him.
Honestly, we should talk about the starters a little bit. I think the starters are terrible
In the new game,
in ZA. Do you know who the starters are?
it's yeah,
It's
pretty
Chikorita,
rough.
Tepig, and
Totodile.
Totodile.
Okay.
Totodile, good starter. I fuck
Totodile,
with Totodile.
one of the coolest starters. Very goated.
Goated.
Chikorita, I was literally talking about Pokemon starters with my friends a few days ago, and we were talking about from the first 4 gens. I asked them from the first 4 gens, who was the worst starter? All of them instantly said Chikorita. Instantly.
Chikorita.
So
it's one of the like worst grass types.
Yep.
At least in early games.
So they've put in the
like, for
worst.
starters.
They've put in the
Chikorita
worst grass
sucks.
type for ZA. Tepig.
Tepig is not strong. Like,
he's also just like, I also feel like he's just one of the least interesting firefighting types. I think that Infernape, way fucking cooler. Just put
Infernape. Well,
put Chimchar, man.
And that's the thing is like, first of all, you have a Gen 5 and 2 Gen 2s because Totodile and Chikorita are same generation. So it's at that point you're like, well, why don't you just do Cyndaquil? Or like, I feel like it should almost be one from like each one should be from a different generation. But yeah,
I agree.
Tepig is like, I think Tepig itself looks decent, but like Emboar,
Yeah.
I don't remember what all
Also-
three. He looks stupid, and it's like, it's a firefighting type. It's like, okay, Infernape just did that.
Yep, better. And so did Blaziken.
He did it
As well.
better. And Blaziken as well. Like that's the third firefighting type in a row.
Yep.
Crazy. There's yeah.
I also want to say, I was looking back at Legends Arceus, which Legends Arceus takes place in Sinnoh, the Gen 4 region. Didn't have a single
Yeah.
Gen 4 starter. It had Cyndaquil,
Who did it have?
Rowlet, which is one of my favorite starters, and Oshawott. And then this one also has no Gen 4 starters. So in both of the Legends Arceus games, we have no Gen 1 starter and no Gen 4 starter whatsoever.
Ah.
And I'm
Which is weird because I feel like those were really popular.
yeah, like
games.
I'm biased. Gen 4's my favorite, but also all the Gen 4
Fair.
starters are like really popular. Turtwig is awesome, Piplup is awesome, and
Turtwig
Chimchar is
Piplup
awesome.
is awesome. I feel like we grew up at like I think our age is perfect to be like a Gen 4 like
Of course, yeah.
lover. Because I feel like in a lot of Pokemon advertising, Turtwig, Chimchar, and
Piplup.
Empoleon, because like a Piplup, thank you. I feel like those were big. Like I had like their cards, and like
Yep.
I actually never had Diamond and Pearl as a game. I only as a kid had Black and White. That's just because I got into it late. I did a lot of cards though.
Mhm.
And I feel like those were like big. I kind of wonder if there was a gap between Diamond and Pearl and Black and White too, because or Black and White.
I mean, yeah, there was a
let me
gap
look it
because in between that we had the remaster of Gold and Silver.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably like a 3-year gap.
See, Diamond and Pearl came out in 2006. Black and White. I should have looked up.
I just can't
Pokemon.
believe they wouldn't pick. I can't believe they picked fucking Tepig and Chikorita over like a Turtwig
Yeah,
or
it's-
a Chimchar.
A Turtwig, a Chimchar, a Charizard. I could understand why they might not want to
even,
do
like,
Gen 1.
Even
purely
Hawlucha.
for the sake of their...
The Hawlucha. Oh, that's Rowlet. Sorry, he was in the other one.
Yeah, there's a 4-year gap between Black and White and Diamond and Pearl. I also know Black and White was like kind of not well received when it came out
Yeah.
because it made a lot of changes. It was the first game where you couldn't use any previous gen until you beat the game. And I know people were annoyed about that. I
Yeah.
know it's had a really good revisionist history of like people go back and they're like, no, actually Black and White was really good.
Yeah, they are.
Like, the story's really good. The gyms are really fun and challenging. There is the after the post game is really good. Like there's a lot more stuff to do, and then you run into a bunch of older generation Pokemon. But it's not like in Gold, Silver, Crystal, where it's like, all right, you finished the game. go back to, oh God,
Johto.
what was the original? It's not no, Kanto. Johto is
The second
Gen
one.
2. Kanto is, yeah. It's like, all right, just do Kanto again, but there's way less stuff in there. Like you fight Red, which is awesome, but it's otherwise like,
Yep.
There's no story. But like Black and White was cool, but I don't know. I feel like our childhood Gen 4 was like massive. I'd also be curious when Gen.
Even like I've looked back at other people's like rankings of Pokemon gens. Gen 4 was usually a top 3 gen for most people as well. So
Gen 4 is pretty high.
It was because it had Diamond Pearl,
Platinum
which are great
was
games.
Fantastic as well.
Diamond Gold, Diamond Pearl Platinum, and then it had Heart Gold, Soul Silver, which is some of the best remasters to this date. I just don't understand.
Also between 2000 or Ruby and Sapphire came out in 2002.
Yep.
So there's also a 4-year age gap between that and Diamond and Pearl, and we would have been too young when Ruby and Silver came.
Yeah,
Ruby and Sapphire. Came out. Fire Red, Leaf Green came out in between Platinum or Diamond and Ruby. Diamond and Pearl, Ruby.
Also, I don't know if this is a conversation anyone else has been having about both Legends Arceus and ZA, but why don't they just give 3 new starters?
Yeah, it is interesting. I don't know.
And like, or if they are like, I would much prefer a system. And like, I know the typical Pokemon thing is like, oh, you pick one of 3, but this also isn't a typical Pokemon game. It's an open world game. Why don't they just give you a system that when you create your character, you can choose any one of the previous starters from any other game to be your guy. Like if you go into the game and be like, yo, I really love Piplup, give me Piplup, and you just get to have that Pokemon. And you can like maybe catch any of the others like later down the line, but say for the first like 5-10 hours of gameplay, you get to pick one, you got to stick with your decision. Like why don't they just do that? I feel like that'd be a fun way to give people the choice to have like their favorite starter with them at all times.
That would be pretty sweet. I do know for the sake of like being able to catch other starters later in the game, I almost feel like it'd have to be post game, because starters just typically tend to be like a top 5 Pokemon within their game because their stats are really good. So there's some amount of like, if you just like build your team up with all starters, you'd be fucking stacked, which is also like, I don't know if it's multiplayer, then it would be an issue, but it's single player. So it's like, if you just don't want to be stacked, just don't be stacked.
Yep.
I guess. But I mean, honestly, yeah, if you are going to do a thing where you're like, yeah, we're not making new starters, and doesn't Legends Arceus like go back in time or something like that?
Yeah, it's like a few thousand years in the past of Sinnoh.
Yeah. So like, yeah, just give me the choice. Because that's true. Like, it would be fun if you're like, I just really fuck Charmander.
Yeah. Or another option. So you have like Legends Arceus and Legends ZA, which are both like, usually Pokemon games comes in 2. This one comes in 1. It's based off a specific Pokemon. Why don't they, instead of giving you the choice of 3 starters, they create a special unique Pokemon unique to this game only, and that's your guy for that game. That has like unique,
kind of like Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah, when you get Pikachu, like a similar thing to that.
Yeah.
But no, I like Nintendo have been, I won't say devoid of creativity, because like they did put out Arceus and ZA, which is something different, but like I think they're devoid of like interesting creativity. Like they made this cool new open world game, but like then all the decisions from there kind of just like, you haven't really done much. Like I don't know if you've seen the new like mega evolutions of some of the Pokemon.
I've seen that they're not interesting.
There are a few, so mega evolutions, there's, I don't know how many there are now, it's quite a few, but basically some Pokemon that Game Freak decide on get this new form. There's like Mega Charizard X and Y, where you have like a bigger orange one and like a one with blue flames. You have like a Mega Mewtwo X and Y, where you have like one that becomes like more like cyborgy or like something, and then the other one becomes like smaller, more telepathic. Basically, Pokemon's getting new forms, and a lot of the ones they pick, they kind of hit. They go pretty hard. Like there's a Mega Gyarados that looks sick as fuck. Mega Rayquaza, Rayquaza is one of the coolest Pokemon ever. But then some are questionable. Chad, have you seen?
All right, I get to look this up.
The Mega Starmie.
Oh God, no, I've not.
So
that's a weird one to.
Yeah.
Does it?
Go on.
Is it the one that has legs?
It is the one that has legs.
Why does it have legs?
So if you feel free to search this up at home if you want to see what we're seeing. Mega Starmie. Typically, Starmie is just a starfish. Now it's a starfish that has legs and just walks around.
It doesn't even look that different is the thing.
No, it just looks kind of unnerving.
It just kind of got legs.
I don't like it though. It makes me feel uncomfortable. It looks like it looks like someone who's like walking around with their like pants off. Like it's like weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not.
They also made a mega
I don't know about that.
They made a mega bell sprout.
Oh god. Bellsprout's a weird looking one as well. A mega evolution.
And it doesn't look better, I promise you.
Oh.
It's just like a giant sack.
I mean, I guess it's not.
Sorry, not bell sprout.
Mega victory bell.
Victory bell, yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's just like
Bell is never a favorite of mine.
It just looks like a giant like alcohol bag. It's just like weird.
Yeah, it's a strange one. It's funny because when searching up, you also get fanfics, and there's a bell sprout that's just like yoked.
Yeah, they just look. All of them just look better, pretty much.
Yeah,
like some of the megas do look good. Like there's a mega Howlucha who just looks like Rey Mysterio now, which is just sick as fuck. But yeah, a lot of them are not very good. It's just like weird.
Oh, that's fun.
They just choose weird Pokemon to give it to. Like, I feel like Mega Evolutions should be reserved for like really cool, epic Pokemon. They give it to fucking Starmie. Like, why? It's so random.
What? Like, have they given one to like Lucario?
Yeah, Lucario does have one. Like, that's like when they.
I'm like trying to think of all the cool Pokemon.
Yeah, no, but like when they first came out, it was that you got like Mega Lucario, Mega Charizard, Mega Mewtwo, Mega Rayquaza. But now it's like, oh, give it to the fucking starfish. Like, why? It's so dumb.
For a fucking Victory Bell. I had Bellsprout for a while. Actually, I did evolve him into Weeping Bell.
Yeah.
I also, this is a complaint I have of the older games. There's so many Pokemon that have a third evolution, but you can't get it unless you trade. And there's so much like you have to trade in this game. And look, 30 years ago, that's great because other people were playing the game and you could. It just doesn't apply nowadays, and I'm like, it's partially a me problem.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also,
but I'm like, just let me have it.
Yeah. So Totodile's one of the starters, right?
Yeah.
So for Alligator, got a new mega. I think it looks fucking stupid.
All right, let's look it up.
I think for Alligator is a really cool Pokemon, and the mega just looks dumb. It just looks really dumb.
Alligator is a cool Pokemon.
I think they fucked it. They could have done so much.
Bro, what the fuck is that?
I don't know.
It makes it look like a Cubone. Oh wait.
No, you're looking at the fan art.
No, I'm looking at the fan art, which looks cooler.
Yeah.
Does it just have like a weird like cape? I don't know what that is. I'm trying to figure out what this is.
It's like they made him like a peacock. He just has like a giant red thing that just goes up behind his head.
I don't even think he looks that much different either.
No, that's the thing about a lot of the megas this gen. What they've done is kept the original body and then just added like something to it rather than changing the body.
Yeah. Like usually they change the body, they change the color a bit. Yeah, no, the problem is there's so much fan art and I'm like, this kind of looks cool. And it's like, oh, it's because it's not real.
Yeah, like the fan art looks so much cooler. Almost every single fan design for any Pokemon in the past 10 years looks better than anything Game Freak have put out. There's like a few cool Pokemon they've done recently, but the majority of them are pretty rough.
Not great.
Yeah, so Pokemon Rant. I've really hoped for this to be a good game, and I hope their next like linear game was good, but I just have so little faith in them now.
Dan, I got a question.
What's your question, good sir?
Are you okay? Yeah, that's not my original question. You just made.
I nearly sneezed. Okay, I'm good.
Dude, I was on the phone with someone today, and I nearly sneezed, and I was like, I was like trying to tell them, like, hey, can you say that again? And I was like, I gotta come up for an excuse, and I was like, someone said something to me, and I was just like, how do I tell someone I was gonna sneeze and then I didn't on the phone? Anyways, do you think Game Freak will return to a 2D top-down Pokemon game?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
That'd be cool.
I don't think they will.
You could say they kind of did in the way of like if they did the Pearl Diamond and Pearl remake, Shining Pearl, Brilliant Diamond.
Yeah.
But that's a remake. That doesn't really count.
A new one? No, I don't think they will, because unfortunately I don't think it appeals to younger generations anymore.
Yeah.
I think Generations,
because I like that.
I think Generations, like the most popular game in the world now is Roblox. You bring someone up on that, they're not going to want a 2D top-down game.
Yeah, that's true. It feels old. It feels arcadey.
Yeah, I just don't think, which sucks, because like I think those games are really cool, and I don't think the style of game should take away from enjoyment of the game. Like Hollow Knight, like we said, came out recently. It's a 2D platformer. It's one of the most like widely well-received games like ever. But yeah, I mean, like I don't want to be like, it back in my day boomer type shit, but like yeah, when you do bring kids up on like something like a Roblox or a Fortnite from like 4 years old, it's going to be very difficult for them to detach from that style of game and enjoy something a bit like more archaic, I guess.
I mean, I find the same thing when I'm trying to play some of those really old games that are like, yeah, you just have to spend hours before you, not even before you get really good, just before you get good at the game, because they're like kind of janky. And you have to learn to like get with the jankiness. Like I kind of get that. Like I have a hard time playing like some of the original Sonic games.
Yeah, or even for me playing like without mods, like a Morrowind or something is kind of difficult at times.
Yeah, so it makes sense. It happens every.
Yeah, I'm not blaming the kids. I'm just blaming, I guess, just the industry or whatever.
It just is what it is. Yeah. It's just how life goes.
Kind of just is the situation.
I got an interesting scenario for you. I don't know how far this will take us, but. Would you like to see a different IP do a Pokemon style game? Probably more to the akin of like the older games, top down 2D, where it's like kind of RPG. I guess it's mostly RPG-ish, but the like turn-based, but almost like catching characters.
Okay. Yeah, because like if you talk about like 2D top down pixel art games, a lot of those do exist because they're like
exist.
It's a lot of Japanese RPGs do that. Like Chrono Trigger does that.
Yeah, it's a lot of JRPGs. Yeah.
The original Corpse Parties, which are horror games, I think are like that as well. But more the catching.
But thing. I'm talking specifically. You take an IP. Let's say Mario because it's a common one. It's a big IP, and you have it where you're catching Marios, you're catching Luigis. You're catching Bowsers, and they have different move sets and they have different typing. Do you think it could be interesting to do that? And if so, what IP would be interesting to see it in?
Let me put on my thinking glasses. Then I'll
put on your thinking glasses. I'm gonna take my headphone off for a second. I think my cat is yelling at me.
Oh no. That's terrifying.
It's fine. She does that. Yeah, she's not happy that I've closed the door.
No.
I feel bad too. But then she's just gonna yell. Honestly, she might get caught, like picked up on my mic.
We can make a Pokemon game about your cat and catch her and never let her out. How do you like my thinking glasses, Chad?
She's very vocal. I like these thinking glasses. How do you like them?
Do they make me look like a serial killer from the 60s?
Yeah, kind of.
Good. That's the vibe I was going for.
A little bit. So that's where we're at.
Yeah. I mean, I got two flavors for you. I got
yellow.
You
got jaundice yellow.
I got jaundice
piss
yellow, and I got this one.
You have oh god. I'm trying to put together what color this is.
Blood orange.
I mean, yes, but I was gonna put it more towards like these are like the color sunglasses that like a girl on Halloween puts like little devil horns on and wears the shortest black dress possible, and she's like, I'm the devil, and like that's the costume. That's the color red of sunglasses that she would wear. I don't know how I got there, but that feels like It's like, this is my costume, and it's like, no, it's not.
I think they're more orange,
Not a
but
real
yeah,
costume.
it adds up. I mean, I don't know if I don't think I've shown these off yet, but I was talking about me buying
I think I have.
blue light blocking glasses like last
Mm.
podcast. These are them. So
you
like
go.
everything is really orange right now. It's quite trippy
That makes sense.
because I was wearing these and I was like looking at something. I'm like, that color looks weird. And then I remembered, oh right, yes, it changes the color. Like I have like this drink here is like blue and yellow. It's like very like bright blue, green, yellow.
Yeah.
To me, it's like dark green and like white. It's very interesting.
Interesting.
But no, the glasses are quite nice. Like, they do genuinely help quite a bit with light blocking. It sucks that it looks like
That's nice.
serial killer, but
A little
Ayo.
bit, but you know.
the
What are you
orange,
gonna do?
the more red ones are like for like proper nighttime. These just like a regular and like, you know, they do help and they're not terrible. They work.
Nice.
I was gonna decide to not get aviators, but they're the only ones that were like wide enough for my head. Otherwise, they hurt. But I'm gonna
Makes
leave these
sense.
on now because fuck it. So yeah, back to the question.
Sure, yeah.
Is
Is there an IP you would like to see in a Pokemon style game?
I think the first one that comes to my mind, because it's a game that has to do with like creatures and like fighting them, is Horizon Zero Dawn. Or like Horizon the
Okay.
series in general. Because like in that game,
Yeah.
you can't catch them with like a ball, but like in the game, Aloy has a feature on a spear where like there are certain ones you can, well, I think all of them, once you get to a high enough level, you can like tame them and have them fight for you, or like ride them or fly
Oh,
on them.
that's sweet.
So like it kind of
That's cool.
already has that feature. You could just make a 2D
Sure.
top-down one where you're like, you have to go in, because in the game, you go into tall grass to hide from them. And you can
Yeah.
like, from the tall grass, you can like convert them to your side. So it'd kind of be similar. You go into tall grass to hide from them. It's almost like a stealth 2D game. You get the robots to
Yeah.
help you and you get them to fight. I think it would work quite well, to be honest.
Okay. Okay.
Anything on your radar?
I think I'm trying to think of something better. I don't know why my brain is stuck on Mario. I just think there's so many characters within the IP that it could be interesting. And obviously it's like Nintendo. You could throw in like Super Smash and make it even like broader if you just wanted more characters.
I mean, I haven't played it, but surely Zelda, like the open world Zelda games would have options.
Zelda, yeah, like there's a ton of different like mobs in that, which would be cool. But even the idea of like you have legendaries, like Link is a legendary that you get at the end of the
Catch
game.
Link.
You catch Link, you catch Ganon, you know, that kind of thing. Your rival has Ganon and you have Link and you make them fight.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen like, because there are like ROM hacks of Pokemon games where people make custom versions.
Sure.
And I've seen ROM hacks of Pokemon games where like instead of catching Pokemon, you're catching like people and have them fight against each other.
Yeah.
So people have already sort of made like dumb versions of that. So like, yeah, why not be able to catch Link and to help him fight for you? Get him to help fight for you.
I think like a Marvel or a like DC version of this would be cool. You start out catching like Hawkeyes and like you catch kind of the like less powerful ones, and then you slowly move up to like Superman and Thor and Sentry and all that. That could be kind of fun.
You just catch that.
I don't know how you do it though.
I guess maybe
because you're catching these things that are probably more powerful than you are.
I guess you'd do less from like a catching, like maybe with like the, say like it's a Marvel game, instead of like a catching mechanic with like a Pokeball, maybe you're like a new mutant that has a very strong ability to like influence people and turn them over to your side. And you can basically brainwash them to like, kind of like how in the first Infinity War, the first Avengers movie, Loki like gets Hawkeye on his side.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Which is actually really funny because the sci-fi show I was talking about last week on the or 2 weeks ago on the podcast Foundation, there's currently a guy who has that exact ability.
Oh, nice.
To like influence people and turn them to his side.
I looked up video game IPs and Google gave me Donkey Kong.
Yep.
And The Last of Us. And that was it.
Good. Lovely.
Cool.
Those are the only two video games.
Those are the only two. Yeah, I guess so.
As well as, man.
Would GTA do well in this style? I know the answer is no, but I like the idea you throw a Pokemon ball out there, but it's mostly just cars.
Yeah.
Because that's the main interesting thing of the game.
Or criminals. You just catch a
1.3.
gang in a ball.
Yeah. Let's see, is there anything? There's Star Wars. Star Wars could be kind of fun.
I mean, Baldur's Gate would work. In D&D, there's a lot of interesting creatures.
Baldur's Gate would work. Sorry, I can hear my cat in the background. She's really going fucking wild.
I mean, something like an Elden Ring as well. There's any game that just has like a lot of different creatures would work decently well.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's like an interesting or cooler way of doing it. But I guess it depends on the IP, like how you would go about the idea of catching and controlling things. Maybe in like the Marvel universe, you're kind of like a cosmic, like a beyonder being, and you're fighting against like other like massive cosmic beings, and you're using like them as like pawns.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're like, I don't know, it's like a multiversal situation, and you're like a Nick Fury, and you're assembling a team. But the idea of having two Hawkeyes fight each other.
Yeah, like I guess you're going and recruiting people rather than like catching them.
But you gotta like beat them to recruit them.
Yeah.
They've got to be convinced.
Yeah, I feel like there probably games like that where you like build a gang and you have to beat up a gang member to have them join you.
Probably, I'm sure. Again, JRPGs are like that.
Yeah, a lot of them are actually like where you fight someone
like,
and they surrender and then they join your party. Yeah, I think Chrono Trigger has that exact like mechanic.
You kind of get that in like Injustice when they're like they want to have you fight against someone just because it's a fun thing to do, and then you beat them and then they're like, fine, I agree with your side and I'll join you. And it's like, you were gonna do that if we didn't fight. I just needed more fighting in this fighting game.
Yep. Exactly.
Which is, if I'm gonna complain about, it's a weird thing to complain about, not that I am, but it's just a kind of funny like story mechanic.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of along.
I mean, in general, it'd be cool because I think we've talked about like open world fatigue quite a bit. It'd be nice to get some more like linear games because like so many good linear games have come out recently. I'm shocked they don't do more of them. Like obviously Last of Us was very good. Stuff like Hollow Knight is like roughly linear, I guess.
It's relative. It's mostly linear. I mean, technically speaking, Pokemon isn't fully linear. There's usually like some amount of options to do. I guess Hollow Knight's a little less linear, but
yeah, but it's not an open world, and it's like you have a story, and you finish the story, and you finish the game.
Yeah.
Need some more of those.
I mean, they're still being made. They're just like less. There's less like AAA games that I feel like are coming out.
Yeah, because all the AAA games need to have longevity. They need to have a battle pass. They need to have like a lot of people playing and interacting with each other.
Well, they need to justify their like $80 price point. And it's hard to convince people to spend that much money on something if they're like, yeah, this game will take you 20 hours.
Yeah.
And it's not that replayable. And I'm like, just don't make your game $80 then.
Yep. That's not going to happen.
Like, yeah, I don't know if Pokemon ZA looks like it's worth $80. I'm sure as hell not paying $80 for it.
And that's if you already have the console.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if I'll get the Switch too. Maybe at some point I will, but...
Yeah. Well, speaking about other games, both the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 beta came out recently, and then Battlefield 6, is it? 6 came out recently. Haven't played any of them. I've only watched a bit of gameplay. Battlefield 6 looks like it's wiping the floor with COD. Can't lie. It looks good. It looks really good.
Real good.
Graphically, gameplay-wise, like everything just looks very, very good. Although the conversation I want to talk about is the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 beta. For the first time in, I think, 5 or 6 years, they made a playlist in the game that had no skill-based matchmaking. Very big issue in the community that's plagued us for many years is that skill-based was introduced, I think, it was introduced a while ago, but it was like very heavy from Modern Warfare 2019 onwards. If you don't know what it is, basically means that if you're a certain skill level, you'll pretty much always be matched up against people of your same skill level. Like you're playing a ranked game mode, but it's not ranked, it's just free public play. And the design philosophy behind this is that everyone should have about a 1.0 KDA. because everyone's about the same skill level, so everyone should be getting the same amount of kills and dying the same amount of times,
Sure, you should
roughly.
be playing against people that are roughly similar to you, so that you're not playing in lobbies where like you're just getting shit on all the time.
Yeah, which like sounds good in theory, but in reality, it's kind of like communism. It doesn't work in reality. Because
it's also I also remember like having played COD with skill-based matchmaking. It's incredibly reactionary. You'll play your first game of the day, not even like generally. You'll play your first game of the day and you'll be like, wow, I'm just wiping the floor with these people. Like I'm playing great. Like these guys aren't that good. Like I'm killing it. And the next game you're like, am I playing against the #1 COD player right now? Because it feels like it. And I think, yes, in the ideal, you should be playing in roughly a similar bracket of like the other people you're playing against. But also, that's what ranked is for.
Yep.
If you just want to play against whoever, that's what open play and like quick play is for. Just do that.
Yeah, because like the idea of quick play is that no matter how good or bad you are, one game you could be getting shit on, the next game you could be the one shitting. I think that's a way more fun experience because there's variety, and also when you're playing against people that are way better than you, which you don't typically get as much with skill based. When you play with people better than you, you also get better. Like that's the way to improve, is to play against harder people. In like real life football, when a player transfers from a no-name league to like a higher league and they get game time, they'll typically improve because they're in a new environment.
Yeah.
With skill based, you kind of just like don't really ever get the chance to improve because you're just playing against the same people. It's just the same all the time. Now, the other issue that comes with skill based is that if you're playing with friends, it pretty much always adjusts to the best person in the friend group. Like say me and you are playing COD together. I'm probably fucking washed now, but I typically was like much better.
Sure, you were usually better than I. You played a lot more than I did.
I played like years before you started.
If you're doubling my KD every single time, and then you come up against people that you're struggling against, I'm fucked.
Yeah, and it's just not fun for like
I'm
parties
not
to play
winning those battles.
So, but like Black Ops 7, like I said, for the first time in years, they made a playlist without any skill based, and all the entire community was like, "This is like so much better. Everyone's having so much more fun." And with the feedback, Call of Duty are deciding to make the default option for Black Ops 7 to have no skill based. I think there'll be a way to turn it on or playlists that have it on, but there'll be a default playlist that has no skill based, which is like such a big change, almost big enough a change where I think like it could revitalize Call of Duty. The only thing
it could definitely help.
The only thing is that Battlefield looks so much fucking better this year.
It looks so much better. I like the format of Battlefield a little bit more. I kind of like the big open maps.
Yeah.
Because it's also, the more players there are, the less likely, like, if there's one really good player, you're not running into him every other encounter or every encounter. You're running into him a couple times the entire game because you're fighting against, 32 other people.
Yeah. And there's like way more variance in playstyle on Battlefield. If you want to sit by the tank and just repair it the whole time, you can do that. If you want to sit on top of a building and literally sit still and snipe the entire match, you can kind of get away with that in Battlefield. You're not really doing that in Call of Duty. If you want to run and gun in a small building, you can do that as well. So there's a lot more you can do. Just from the small amount of like footage I've watched, it just looks so good. The sound design's really well done. The progression,
really good.
The progression system looks really good. I think for me, having been playing shooting games since like 2008, 2009, almost the single and most important thing for me is how it feels when you're actually shooting someone. Like if I'm shooting someone and it feels like those bullets are actually making an impact on my opponent, that feels really good. It's like partially a connection thing, it's partially a latency thing, but it's also like sound design, like hit marker design, and like gun like recoil or vibration, whatever you want to call it. And Battlefield 6 looks like they've really got that down.
Yeah. It's just a better game, I think. Like, sure, maybe COD can turn around. The like them finally recognizing that people don't want skill-based matchmaking is great. Because there's ranked. They have ranked play within their own game. If you want to get better based on a ranking, play ranked.
Yep.
Totally fine. There are people that want to do that. For a casual player, skill-based matchmaking sucks.
Yeah. Now, I think they still have some amount of skill-based So like the really, really, really bad players won't get matched up with people like above a certain level, just to like help them out a little bit. But once you're past a certain threshold of like skill, you'll be able to play against anyone, which is really fun.
Good.
Because like
that's how it should.
Some of my favorite moments ever back in Call of Duty, like back on like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, is you join a lobby and the team is getting absolutely shit on. Like they have kill streaks in the air, they're dominating. If you're able to like come back from that and like push through and win, it's such a gratifying feeling.
That's awesome. There's also the flip side of every once in a while you're just crushing the other team, and it's like they put in these kill streaks where you have to get 25 kills without dying. And like if you can never get there because of skill-based matchmaking, then what's the point? I want that tactical nuke.
Yeah.
I need to earn that tactical nuke, but like it has to be possible.
Yep. And it's like when you're getting skill-based, it just becomes a game of like, yeah, you may be able to go like 40 and 10, which is like well, but like you'll never absolutely shit on people. It'll always be, or even if you do for one game, the next game you're back to just it being even again.
Yeah, and it just sucks.
Yeah, but no, it looks really good.
Fun.
I think there's been some really good games coming out recently, and excited to see where those go. I don't have much else to say for today. If you're happy to end it there.
Yeah, no, that's my whole thing was my Pokemon rant. So.
Cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll be back in 2 weeks, like we said. If there's anything you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments. Yeah, see you then. Peace.
See you then.